Hello my dear 9th standard students, welcome back for Unit 3 Civics Human Rights. In this module we are going to discuss about basics and types of human rights ensured in Indian constitutions, functions and issues involved in human rights. Let me move on to the video session. Civics Unit 3 Human Rights. What are human rights? Human rights refer to the right of every person to live a dignified life without facing any discrimination. Discrimination means differentiation on the basis of religion, gender, caste, race or country. Human Rights Day is celebrated every year on 10th December. Human rights include those rights which are basic to a real life and are absolute. That is, it cannot be taken away. Mahatma Gandhi made the momentous decision to stay on in South Africa and fight racial discrimination against the Indians. Out of that struggle emerged his unique way of protest non-violent satyagraha. The reason is, on 7th June 1893, while a person was on his way to Pretoria in South Africa, a white man objected the person's presence of a non-white man in a first-class carriage and the person was ordered to move to a van compartment at the end of the train. The man who had the first-class ticket refused to leave and was thrown off, shivering in the winter night in the waiting room of the station. Do you know who he is? It is Mahatma Gandhi. Then he took up the fight against racial oppression. The spirit for active non-violence started from that moment. As a human being, Gandhi had all the rights to travel in the first-class compartment, but he was discriminated because of his skin color. History of human rights. The history of human rights has roots in all the great events of the world, and it has sustained the struggle for freedom and equality everywhere. The United Nations Organization UNO was formed on 24th October 1945 after the Second World War. It proposed to deal with the consequences of war and to prevent such happening in the future. October 24th is a UNO day. Nelson Mandela raised his voice against apartheid. Apartheid was the highest form of discrimination that existed in South Africa. It was the governing policy in the country by the minority whites over the majority non-whites. The people of South Africa protested against racial discrimination. When he organized campaign against the government, he was imprisoned. Amid growing domestic and international pressure and with the fear of racial civil war, President F.W. de Klerk released him in 1990. The efforts taken by Mandela and de Klerk put an end to apartheid. In 1994, a multiracial general election was held, in which Mandela led the African National Congress to victory and became president. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations on 10th December 1948. It was drafted by the representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. There are 30 articles in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it guarantees freedom of expression as well as civil, political, social, economic and cultural rights. These rights apply to all people irrespective of the race, gender and nationality, as all people are born free and equal. Social, economic and cultural rights. Social, economic and cultural rights are integral part of the human rights. Social rights are necessary for full participation in the society. Economic rights guarantee every person to have conditions under which they are able to meet their needs. Cultural rights are human rights that aim at assuring the enjoyment of culture and its components in condition of equality, human dignity and non-discrimination. Civil and political rights. Civil and political rights protect an individual's freedom. The term civil rights refers to the basic rights afforded by laws of the government to every person regardless of race, nationality, color, gender, age, religion, etc. Political rights exercised in the formation and administration of a government. They are given to the citizens by law. These rights give power to the citizens to participate either directly or indirectly in the administration. Fundamental rights in India. Our constitution gives every citizen some basic rights. These are called fundamental rights. Fundamental rights make the life of people meaningful by giving them rights like speech and to live in an area of their choice. The fundamental rights are rights to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of conscience and religion, cultural and educational rights for minorities, right to constitutional remedies. Right to equality. It refers to equality before law and equal protection of law. Prohibition or discrimination on the grounds of religion, caste, races, gender, or place of birth is offensive and one can seek justice from court. Right to freedom. Freedom of speech and expression. Freedom to assemble peacefully without arms. Freedom to form association and unions. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. Freedom to move freely throughout the territory of India. Freedom to practice any profession and carry on any occupation, trade or business. Right again, exploitation. Exploitation means taking advantage and treating someone unfairly. It is against the law to employ children before 14 years of age in mines, factories or other occupations. Neither contractor nor an employer can force a worker to do a job against their will. Right to freedom of conscience and religion. This right gives the citizen freedom to follow and practice the religion of their choice. All citizens have the freedom of conscience or ideas. The citizens also have the freedom to follow their own ways for practicing any religion. Cultural and educational rights. The Constitution gives us the right to preserve, protect and promote culture. We have the right to open schools, associations and societies to preserve and promote our tradition and culture. Similarly, a group of people may open a school for imparting religious education to children. The government also promotes such activities by giving grants. However, such institutions cannot deny admission to anyone based on their caste, color, creed or even religion. Right to constitutional remedies. Fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution. By this right, a person can adopt constitutional means and approach a court if he is denied the fundamental rights. The court then issues orders, which are called writs, to the government to restore the rights to the citizen. Fundamental duties. These are in the form of duties and responsibilities of citizens. The state must uphold the rights of the citizens and citizens must well aware about the responsibilities and duties towards the state. These were incorporated in the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. The Constitution provides different types of fundamental duties. First one is to abide by the Constitution, respect the national flag, national anthem, national symbol, etc. at all times. To follow and cherish the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. To follow, uphold, protect and defend the sovereignty, unity and integrity of the nation. To promote harmony and spirit of brotherhood, religious tolerance and respect for women. To preserve and maintain the heritage and cultural wealth of the country. To respect and protect the environment and public property. To develop a scientific attitude, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform. To safeguard public property and to oppose violence. To provide opportunities for education by the parent and guardian to the child or ward up to the age of 14 years. National Human Rights Commission. The National Human Rights Commission is an autonomous body constituted on 12th October 1993 under the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. It is responsible for the protection and promotion of human rights in India. The office is located in New Delhi. Functions of National Human Rights Commission. To inquire into the violation of human rights or negligence in the prevention of such violation by a public servant. To intervene in court proceeding relating to human rights. To undertake and promote research in the field of human rights. To engage in human rights education among various sections of society. To encourage the effects of NGOs. NGOs means non-governmental organizations and institutions working in the field of human rights. State Human Rights Commission. Every state in India has a State Human Rights Commission established in accordance with the power conferred on the state under Section 21 of the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. The protection and promotion of human rights constitute the principal concern of the Commission. The Office of the Human Rights is located in Chennai. Functions of State Human Rights Commission. The State Human Rights Commission shall inquire into violation of human rights in respect of matters specified in the state and concurrent list. Its objective and duties are the same as National Human Rights Commission, but confined only to the state. It has a chairman and 2 members. It has the power of a civil court. It can also recommend compensation to victims. Child rights. A child is a person who has not completed the age of 18 years, that is a minor as per United Nations Organization. This principle is exhibited in Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The rights of the child was right to life, right to family environment, right to education, right to benefit from social security, right against sexual exploitation, right against sale or trafficking, right against other forms of exploitation like child labor. Right to life. A child has the right to survive even before its birth. The right to survival also includes the right to be born, the right to basic needs of food, shelter, clothing, and a dignified living. Right to family environment. A child has the right to live a normal childhood in a family environment. Children who have been left destitute, abandoned, or orphaned also have the right to live. These children can be given for adoption for caring families. Right to education. Right to Education Act is an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 2009 for free and compulsory education for children from 6 to 14 years of age, as under Article 21A of the Constitution. Right to benefit from social security. Children should get financial support from the country when their parents or guardians are unable to provide them with a good standard of living by themselves due to any illness, disability, or old age. Right against sexual exploitation. The state should protect children from sexual exploitation and abuse when they are forced or persuaded to take part in sexual activities physically or mentally. POCSO Act. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 regards the best interest of the child as being of paramount importance at every stage. The features of POCSO Act is the Act defines the child as any person below 18 years of age to ensure the healthy physical, emotional, intellectual, and social development of the child. The statement of the child is to be recorded exactly as the child narrates. A child not be called repeatedly to testify. Right against sale or trafficking of children. Trafficking means dealing something illegal. Children should be treated as individuals with fundamental human rights. Children are vulnerable. Vulnerable means being attacked or harmed. There are root causes such as poverty, gender discrimination, broken families, etc. behind the sale or trafficking of children. Right against other forms of exploitation like child labor. Children are often employed in several industries. These children are deprived of their childhood, health, and education. This will lead to a life of poverty and want. Work is mostly gender specific, with girls performing more home-based work while boys are employed as labor. Since these children work in agricultural fields, restaurants, motor repair workshops, and home-based industries, elimination of child labor remains a challenge. Women's rights. The National Commission for Women is constituted in India to review the constitutional and legal safeguards for women. In modern India, women had held high offices including that of the President, Prime Minister, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Leader of the Opposition, Union Ministers, Chief Ministers, and Governor. Women's rights under the Constitution of India mainly include equality, dignity, and freedom from discrimination. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar framed many laws for women workers in India, such as the Mines Maternity Benefit Act, Women Labour Welfare Fund, Women and Child Labour Protection Act, Maternity Benefit for Women Labour, and restoration of ban on employment of women on underground work in coal mines. Reservations. The following table gives us a very clear picture of the percentage of reservation for various communities by the government of Tamil Nadu. The state of Tamil Nadu provides 69% of reservation to those castes. Communities and reservation. Backward classes 26.5, backward class Muslims 3.5, most backward classes or denotified communities 20, scheduled caste 18, scheduled tribes 1, totally 69. Under each reserved category and in general category, 30% is reserved for women and 4% is reserved for differently abled persons. For persons studying in Tamil medium, 20% seats are offered under each category on priority basis. In Tamil Nadu, transgender has been classified under most backward classes. Special reservation to Arundhidiyas has been granted by the preferential allotment of seats within the seats reserved for scheduled caste. Right to Information Act. The Right to Information Act is a revolutionary act that aims to promote transparency in the government institutions in India. It is one of the most powerful laws of the country. This act is the people friendly. Even an illiterate person can ask any public information officer to write it down for him. A common man can demand any government organization to provide information. The information must be provided within 30 days. If not, a fee will be collected as penalty from the concerned official. Labor rights. The Constitution ensures right to equality, equality of opportunity in public employment, right to form association and unions, right to livelihood, prohibits trafficking, forced labor and child labor. Article 39D ensures equal wages to male and female workers for equal work. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar contribution to laborers. Reduction in factory working hours per day 8 hours. Compulsory recognition of trade union. Employment exchange in India. Employee state insurance ESI. Minimum wages for laborers. Coal and mica mines provident fund. Or the contribution to laborers. Let me go through a short recap. Discrimination is the partial treatment of people. Discrimination is differentiation. History of human rights has its roots from the aftermath of Second World War. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Indian Constitution ensures fundamental rights and duties of a citizen. Formation and functions of National and State Human Rights Commission. Extended rights such as child rights, SC and ST rights, women rights, Right to Information Act and labor laws. My dear students, go through the lesson and learn book back exercise and take care of yourself. Bye.